Aloha, beautiful people. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. This is your podcast portal to heal, up level, grow, love yourself, and self actualize for your dreams and a world we're proud of. I am so blessed to be here today and just feeling so lit up about life and excited about New Earth and really. I've never felt more in my purpose ever in my whole life. There has been such a major shift for me in the past month specifically, but like especially it seems like every single day I wake up and I get to meet a new version of myself. And shout out to breathwork and shout out to God. So today's transmission is really, if you've been in my community for a while, you may have seen that I was sharing back around the holidays, back in December, about my 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide. And this is something that I really have had and have a very deep call to steward, to do, because the astrology of 2025 is literally life changing, world changing. Like, we will look back on this and be like, oh my God, that's when everything started. And when we study these things in advance, that's when we really can co create with them in right relationship with spirit, not get caught off guard. And everybody talks about AI, 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 and what's the real AI? Ancient intelligence. And what is astrology? It is a sacred science that the intellectual elite have been using to guide rulers for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So that's what we're tapping into. And astrology is how spirit speaks to us. It's a language and it's so amazing. Um, And so I was getting the call for this New Earth astrology guide, and my first idea was, oh yeah, I'm gonna record a reading for every single month. I'm gonna do it all at once, and then people can get it all at once and have the whole year ahead of them. And when I tell you that this overwhelmed my channel, I was about to sit down and record like 30 to 40 hours of transmissions right around like Christmas time, which I celebrate Christmas not through the church, but just culturally. Um, and that was a hard no in my body. I was like, it's the solstice. I'm meant to be going within. I'm not meant to be pumping out content like a I'm not meant to be extracting my own life force that way, you know? And so I just took a step back and I knew I was going to be sharing on the astrology and I knew I was going to be doing the 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide, which you can go to the link in the show notes and get right now um, if you want it. I knew it wasn't going to be that way though. And I know that things are going to change so significantly as time unfolds. So what I decided to do is this is going to be a dripped out resource. I'm going to still be doing the monthly readings. They're going to come throughout the year though, and I'm going to channel on transits as they're happening or as they're right about to happen. And it's going to be a lot more fluid experience. And it's going to be a way higher quality experience. So I'm really, really excited about that. And today's podcast is a window into what is going on in 2025 and why it matters and why this year 2025 is a fated year, why it's important. And I really just want to give you a overview of the major shifts. Now, if I were to sit down and tell you everything that's going to happen in 2025, like I said, that's 30 to 40 hours of content of me channeling, of transmission. if you want that deep dive, go to the link in the show notes, get the New Earth Astrology Guide. It's all through the lens of New Earth. This is not a horoscope. I was literally telling one of my friends the other day, I got an ad for like the company that I buy jeans from. If you know Mother Denim, which I'm not a sponsor, but I'm just obsessed with their jeans. It's an LA company. They sent me an email like, read your horoscope. And I'm like, you're a gene company. Why are you sharing horoscopes? And I was like, this is why people don't believe in astrology, because there's so many people talking about it that don't really know what they're talking about, that don't study, that are not in right relationship with star medicine. So everything I share is through the lens of New Earth. What does this mean for New Earth? What does this mean for you and your New Earth mission? What does this mean for humanity and our world unlocking? Like, spoiler alert, in case you haven't noticed, shit's hitting the fan. And our civilization is crumbling as as we know it, right? I don't know why I just got this visual, but there's a movie. P.S. I love you. P.S. I love you. This is like major rom-com vibes. And she said, she's talking about the guy she fell in love with. And she said, the moment I saw you, I knew life was over as I knew it. Meaning everything changed instantly, right? Well, life is over as we know it with New Earth. Everything is changing really, really quick. So knowing this astrology is and knowing it through the New Earth lens and receiving it from an oracle channel is really, really important just because there's so much bullshit out there that actually is a distraction from the real healing and the real study and the real transformations. So that was a really, I wanted to set the context for this episode because yeah, the 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide that I am stewarding is still happening. And it's just happening in a different way, a different expression, one of more integrity. And something that I'm learning about my own channel, like very much in real time, is like the voltage coming through my body and through my channel is insane right now. And it's a whole new voltage. And so I'm really learning about like receiving my ideas and knowing, okay, what's the exact correct timing? What's the exact correct expression of it? And then for me specifically, um, tapping it, tuning in with my body about it because I love what I do so much and I get so deeply excited and like the call I have for my work is like it's so visceral. Honestly, the idea of retiring sounds like a death sentence because I will never ever quit this work. Like this is my life's work. And so for me, part of it is like really tuning into my body and knowing that if it's correct in my body, it will be correct for all of you. So thank you for your patience on the 2025 astrology. And I'm excited to dive into it. So what makes this podcast different is this is a transmission, okay? Don't let this just be another podcast where you mindlessly listen and never implement it, okay? This is a transmission. This is a cellular change portal. And so, one of the reasons the world is in the state that it's in is because we stopped making offerings. We stopped saying thank you. We stopped making altars. And so, we start this podcast with an altar. I have an altar set for us. An altar is ancient technology. Did you know prayer is technology? Prayer is technology. And it's literally being proven. Like Joe Dispenza's like proving all of this stuff as real. You know, people say science is when you like science catches up to magic. science catches up and kind of figures out the exact formula of spirituality, but then, it's never together, right? Spirituality is always ahead. Altars are technology. An altar is saying thank you in advance to spirit for this opportunity to serve. And did you know that your body's an altar and your body's a temple and your ability to channel is directly determined by the state of your physical vessel? That's why I'm leading my Holy Habits Hive Mind. Link in the show notes. On the altar today, I have a clear quartz crystal bringing in purification. I have the snow literally swirling in a blizzard outside. Every time I channel on this podcast lately, there has been a blizzard. Literally 6 inches of snow in the past 2 hours. It's a snow globe. It's magic. It's purification from spirit. Thank you, spirit. I have 3 red roses representing mind, body, and spirit, and the root chakra and the divine feminine, safety, love, potency, blood, red, life force. I have 1 bright pink rose representing the heart chakra. And I got 1 rose because it represents the beauty of something being rare. Sometimes having 1 amazing, beautiful, potent rose is infinitely more powerful than a meadow full of roses. I have Ganesha on the altar. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Removing all obstacles between you and spirit, between me and spirit, between your soul and my soul, between all of us and the truth in this crazy time to be alive. And our final piece of the altar, we have a white candle, unscented, burning. It's a beeswax candle. The final piece of the altar is the element of air, fusing our minds, bodies, and spirits. No matter where you are receiving this transmission, be here now. If you can, close your eyes, flutter your eyelids shut. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Shake out your arms, anything leading up to this moment. Let it go, let it go. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Open your ears to hearing truth. We cannot hear truth. We cannot speak truth if we do not first hear it. One last inhale through the nose. Feel the warm sun covering your whole body, knowing that you are the light. Hold it because you can. Smile. Exhale out the mouth. Gently flutter your eyes open. Come back to this day. Come back to this podcast. The transmission, the portal is officially open. Okay. The major shifts in the 2025 astrology. So 2025 is lit. 2025 is lit. When I look at the overall trajectory of 2025, we are going to ratchet up to some very severe intensity in the spring. So March and April specifically. And then the rest of the year is going to be a little bit more chill, but that's going to be like the new normal. Like the intensity we reach in the spring is going to be like the new bottom floor, right? So today I'm just going to be sharing what are the major changes coming, what they mean, what do they mean, what are the planets and the signs. And I want you to know that this is the way I think about and experience my work, okay? Your bot when you set sail on your life's adventure, on your soul's mission. Your body is the ship, your mind is the steering wheel, the astrology is the weather, and your unique natal chart is the map. Okay. The work I do with breath work is the body. We get your ship on lock. It controls 95% of your decisions. Okay. The work I do through coaching and meditation is the mind. It steers your ship. Okay. You can have an epic yacht if you're not steering it correctly, not going to be a fun trip. The weather. The weather is what we are talking about in this podcast. I'm like, yo, everybody gather round. This is the weather coming up. So you know what to pack, what to wear, if you need snacks, like everything, what kind of supplies to get, things you won't need. Like, that's what we're doing in this podcast today is the weather. And then your unique natal chart is your soul's map. So your chart, your soul chose to incarnate, and that's a imprint in time, and it's a way that your soul speaks to you from the other side for energies for you to leverage for healing, for love, and for self-actualization in this lifetime. And I am a free will astrologer. Okay, we always have free will in how we experience every single transit. And you are always, no matter what happens in life, you always have the power to choose your attitude. You always have the power to choose your thoughts. You always have the power to stay in the driver's seat of your life, even if things get crazy, even if things get severe. Um, Things will get severe in 2025. And I don't say any of these things to scare you. I say them to prepare you. I want to know just how extreme something's going to get so I can get ready for it. This is why I was ready for 2020. When most of the world got sideswiped and kicked on their ass, I was ready. I had the systems ready to pivot. And it's not that it wasn't hard, and it's not that I didn't experience adversity, but first of all, I had decades of holy habits under my belt that I had already integrated. And second, I knew the energy coming. And when it happened, I was like, oh, that's how it's going to be expressed. Oh, okay. And then I could make moves. Meanwhile, everybody else is like, it took them months and months and months and months, and some people still haven't pivoted fully. So this is all about power and knowledge. And something that I want to say is that information without implementation means nothing. So I want you to receive this and receive these codes and then move with it, act on it. Okay. And if you really resonate with this, I can't tell you the amount of like advising I do for my clients with astrology. And I tell them like energies ahead of time. And then they make decisions based on that. They make more money. They make decisions aligned with certain planetary movements to make it more efficient. They know energy coming. Like I've done a lot of like my move from Maui to Michigan was it was divinely guided, and I also chose the days I was flying based on astrology, and I ultimately chose okay, if I'm going to stay or go, like I came to Michigan based on the astrology, and I was right. And the day that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in an airport was the day that Donald Trump almost got assassinated. Because I was looking at the astrology and I was like, you could not pay me to be in a public place that day, let alone an airport, let alone an international airport. So, this is what I mean by the ancient technology, ancient intelligence. We are going to be called to rely on astrology much more. We are going to be called to rely on our oracle much more. We are going to be called to rely on our spiritual gifts and our intuition much more as things ratchet up with misinformation, with literal fake news So this is all through the lens of New Earth. Why does this matter for a better world? If we want to make a better world, we got to be informed and we got to be tapped into spirit. So that's what we are doing today. So first things first, the nodes shifted. So this podcast is dropping on the 15th of January, 2025. The nodes just shifted to the Virgo Pisces axis. So the past 2.5 years, we have had the South Node in Libra and the North Node in Aries. So the nodes are not planets, they are points of karma and destiny. The North Node is the energy that's going to click us into our destiny path. So people refer to the nodes as a dragon, okay? The North Node is the head of the dragon, okay? It has this insatiable appetite for growth and pushing us forward into our destiny timeline. So the past 2.5 years, it's been in Aries. So every time you've been taking bold action, leading, that fiery sacred warrior energy is activating your personal destiny and the destiny of the collective. Okay. And then the South Node has been in Libra. The South Node is a point of karmic purging. Okay. It's the tail of the dragon. Literally, it's like where the dragon excretes things. It's very plutonic. It's like Pluto rules pipes. It's the gross shit we don't want to look at, but we literally got to let that shit go, right? So Libra has been exposing us. Libra rules peace, justice, harmony, balance. Libra has been showing us where we must purge anything that's blocking peace, anything that's blocking justice. So what have we had? Outbreaks of war all around the world. Why? South Node in Libra. Okay. We are being exposed to the truth of the situation that we have created here on Earth and what is actually required of us to shift it. So now we've had that karmic surge. I call it the surge and purge. North Node surge into destiny, South Node purge. It's karmic. We've got to purge that to move forward. So now we have the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. This is taking us all the way till 2027. Why does 2027 matter? 2027 is when the background frequency on the planet changes, okay? We've been in a tribal frequency for the past 300 plus years. And in 2027, it's shifting to an individual frequency. That means like you must be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Being your real self, being your individual self, being the authority on yourself is important. We've lived in a society that relies on everybody for everything, which community is really powerful. And it's like, oh, instead of asking myself, I'm gonna ask this outer authority. It's been a system of outsourcing your power, giving your power away. And so we're shifting to the individual. And that's why a big part of my role as a projector is so important going towards 2027, because as everybody wakes up into their individual power, you will need guidance for how to use your energy the way that you are meant to do it for you individually, not what some system or the matrix says. So the North Node in Pisces is our new destiny point. Okay. So Pisces is the mystic, it's the healer, it's sound healing, it's other realms, it's completion, it's forgiveness. It is the ocean of consciousness. It's mutable water. So the more you tap into your spiritual gifts, the more you tap into other realms, the more you tap into your spirituality, the more you do things like art, like healing, like astrology is very Pisces. Like so many of my astrologer friends or mystics, they're like, I have a Pisces moon, I'm a Pisces rising. I'm like, of course you are. um, Unhealed Pisces is addiction, escapism, avoidance, okay? The South Node, where we're going to be purging, is in Virgo. Virgo rules health, wellness, daily routine, and daily ritual. So, again, Why am I leading my holy habits hive mind? The South Node is in Virgo. We're going through a karmic purge the next 2 years in the whole collective in health and wellness. Now, is there another plan? I almost said pandemic, depending on who you are and what you believe. Is there another pandemic coming? Is there another global health crisis coming? I don't know. What I know is that we're going through a 2 year karmic purge in health and wellness in the collective. So the time to double down on your health is now. Now, with Virgo, we have the opportunity to purge all perfectionism, all things blocking our health, all things blocking our daily work, our daily rituals. And at the very same time, like I just went through South Node Libra. Libra is my sixth house. Libra is my sixth house of daily health and wellness. So I went through a whole cleaning out of my daily health and wellness. And the whole time I was prioritizing my health because I knew, okay, that part of my life is getting drained right now. That part of my life is literally getting drained right now. So I need to make sure I nourish it like extra, 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 extra. So that's why health and wellness is doubly important for the next 2 years. Why? Because the South Node is in Virgo for the whole collective. Literally, the health and wellness of the collective is going to be drained. We're going to activate our destiny when we tap into these other realms in Pisces. And then we're going to be in a major purge of our bodies, of our wellness, of our daily habits. So that's the first major shift. If you hear that about the nodes and you're like, I got to get my booty in the holy habits hive mind, go apply right now. There's only 10 spots available. I have never had so many people apply and just be so excited to hop in and offer. Like this will sell out. Like I have no doubt in my mind. I have way more invites and applications out than I have spaces. So if this is you, literally apply today. The other major shift, so all of the major outer planets are shifting in 2025. The inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Mars, and there's a lot going on, especially with Mars. We're going to be talking about that in the January transmissions in the New Earth Astrology Guide. Really, when I look at the overall arc of 2025, though, it really is all of the outer planets are changing, and that's way more significant because, the sun changes every month. Venus and Mars usually change like every 6 weeks or 2 months. And the others, like Saturn's every 2.5 years, Jupiter is every year, Uranus is every 7 years, Neptune is every 18 years, and Pluto just entered Aquarius. Pluto was in Capricorn for literally 16 years, and now Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. This is not like cheeky, cute, fun, weekend astrology, okay? This is like, yo, this is era defining astrology. If you want more about Pluto and Aquarius transit, I have a whole podcast episode about that. Um, I think from the end of 2024, right when Pluto was about to go back into Aquarius and stay there. So we started 2025 with just insanity. And all of these planets retrograde, like literally the way that I'm sharing this transmission and the way the New Earth Astrology Guide is coming out is very, very aligned with this astrology because we started the year with so many planets in retrograde. Literally, for me, there was this crazy Mars Pluto opposition. And for me personally, Pluto has been sitting on top of my natal Saturn, and Mars has been sitting on top of my natal Chiron, both of them opposing each other and squaring my moon. And so I've been like, I shared recently on the podcast that I struggled with depression for the first time in my life. And it was so cosmically aligned. honestly, like every day that was really, really hard for me, I just kept studying the stars. And I was like, Spirit has something for me in this. Like, it's the planet of death on top of the planet of limitation, opposing the planet of war on top of my deepest childhood wound, squaring my moon, which is my physical and emotional needs. Like, literally, what the fuck? So, on those days when I was like, I am not well, I kept looking at the astrology and it gave me so much peace and so much like certainty in creator. Like spirit has my back. Like I do not understand this. Like this is certainty beyond logic. This is called magic. This is called faith. Faith doesn't matter when things are great. And we are going to need some faith in 2025. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be amazing and it's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you. 2025 has a lot of hard astrology in it. It's very similar and a little bit more extreme than 2020. Like I kept saying back in 2020, I'm like, yo, this is the warm up. If this is the warm up, I don't know what's about to happen in 2025. And then there's more, 2026, we kind of get like we get a little bit of a like a lean back, but not a lot. And then 2027, it's like, wow, this is like this is like crazy. So I just share that because no matter what happens when you study the astrology, spirit has your back. And that you were designed to go through it. Like it is written in the stars, it's prophesized. And free will comes in when it's like, okay, how are you going to choose to move through this? Are you going to choose to move through as a victim, or are you going to, no matter what, every single day, keep tapping into source and be like, I am a child of the stars. I am a powerful creator. I'm going to keep doing breath work. Okay. So all of the major planets are shifting in 2025. We started with Pluto shifting into Aquarius permanently for the next 20 years. Now, is this the age of Aquarius? No. We are midwifing the age of Aquarius. Our kids, our grandkids, they will benefit. They will be the benefactors. They will be the ones that live in age of Aquarius. We're the midwives. We get the bloody part. We get the part with contractions. Hey, spoiler alert, we chose this. Our souls chose this on the other side. Like, I volunteer as tribute. Like, I will go do the hard thing. And like, I've learned so much about my past lives lately that how many lifetimes I've done in times of revolution, like thousands. So, I mean, I chose to come back because I know how to do this, like in my soul. And that's why I'm here to lead others. Like you, amazing, amazing, beautiful new earth creator. Um, so Pluto's in Aquarius. For a deep dive on that, go listen to the other podcast. I'm going to be channeling on that all in the New Earth astrology guide as well as things unfold. So, first things first, Neptune is entering Aries in March. It's going to be entering Aries from March to October and then retrograding back into Pisces. And then in 2026 will be in Aries for the next like 18 years, okay? Pluto changes sign every 18 years. This is a big deal, okay? I'm 33 years old. This is the second time that Neptune will change in my lifetime. That's a big deal. Neptune is the mystic. Neptune is the ocean of consciousness. The shadow frequency, Neptune is very associated to Pisces. So whenever we're talking about Pisces, we're talking about Neptune, okay? Neptune is very like ocean, very mermaid, very I view Neptune as like you're living in watercolor. You're like living in an ayahuasca journey or you're like living in a breathwork journey. And I really imagine it as like everything is like crystal clear. And then Neptune enters the scene and it's like fog. It's like spiritual fog, and you go to other realms. And it is that same sound healing. Like it's all, but it's entering the sign of Aries, okay? Neptune can have rose-colored glasses. Neptune can be very avoidant. And so what you're going to notice is there's a lot of Aries energy in 2025. Aries is the divine masculine. It starts the whole zodiac. We have Chiron in Aries exposing our father wound. Hashtag Donald Trump. Hashtag also all the other quote unquote leaders around the world. I don't want to be US centric on this podcast. I am American and I know American politics affects the world, but there's so much other like deep, deep, deep wounds. Like anytime we see war, that's unhealed Aries energy. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of war. Okay. So Neptune is going to be entering Aries. So what I really feel for this for the next 18 years, and it really goes into what I was saying about we need to trust our oracle, is Aries is bold moves, it's actions. The whole floaty mystic thing has to end. Your downloads mean nothing if you don't make moves on them. Your channel means nothing if you don't make moves on it. All the visions you have mean nothing if you don't make them real. All the visions you have mean nothing if you don't take action on it. Let's say something comes through your third eye and you know something's about to happen. Okay? If you don't act on it and then something bad happens, that's on you. Okay? And I say that with love and respect. But this is a chronic problem with mystics is the gap between your intuition and what you're living. And with Neptune entering Aries, it's like, okay, we're bringing these Neptunian mystical qualities to the sign of action. Very important. So Saturn is then going to enter Aries. Saturn, the planet of limitation, restriction, boundary, long-term vision, the disciplinarian of the zodiac, father time, is going to be entering Aries in May, from May to September, and then retrograding back, but then fully entering Aries in 2026. So Saturn has been in Pisces. Saturn has been showing us where we need to be more disciplined to bring the dream through. Pisces rules dreams. Neptune rules dreams. Okay, here's an example. I had a dream. I had a dream that was very disturbing to me. And it made me want to cancel plans that I had the next day. And I told one of my family members, I was like, the person I had plans with, I was like, I had this dream, and most of the time my dreams come true. And I need to cancel our plans. I was like, I don't know why. I definitely want to reschedule. And this is what I mean by like this Aries energy. You've got to take action on what you receive. And so Saturn has been in Pisces, showing us where we need to be disciplined about our dreams. And now it's going to be entering Aries. We got to make moves. We've got to take action, and not just any kind of action, bold action. Aries is the ram. It literally rams its head into the goals until they happen. Think about the animal, a ram. It rams its head into shit until it gets what it wants. That's how we're going to build the long term with Saturn the next 2.5 years. Okay, Jupiter is going to enter Cancer in June. Now, this is going to be amazing because we have almost 6 months of Mars in Cancer. Mars, the planet of war, in Cancer, the planet of safety. It's been very, very extreme. And so in June, Jupiter, the planet of luck, abundance, expansion, opportunity, is going to come in and bless that part of our life that just got basically wrecked. Not wrecked like completely, but went through a major, major war. It's battle worn. The Cancer and for everybody is going to be battle worn. And guess what? Jupiter's going to be like, I saw you went through that battle, and here's some blessings, magic, luck, expansion, opportunity. Cancer is safety. It's the womb. It's the divine feminine. It's the breasts. It is security. It is the home. So the more you can focus on those things starting in June, the more your luck, abundance, expansion, and opportunity will be. manifest, okay? Focus on creating safety and security and home for yourself and your people. I think we should all be doing that all the time, but especially when Jupiter enters Cancer in June. So if you're thinking about moving this year, which I know a lot of people are, including myself, get your home set up in June or by June. Use that timeline. Could be powerful. Okay, and then the final thing happening, major shift, is Uranus is entering Gemini in July. Now, what's significant about this is, so by the way, Jupiter changes every year, but we only get Jupiter in Cancer every 12 years. So again, that's a major significant change, right? Uranus is entering Gemini. Uranus changes every 7 years, but what's important about this is that it's the US Uranus return. So in the US natal chart, Uranus is in Gemini. And every single time Uranus has been in Gemini, there's been some kind of major war. Uranus is the planet of shock, upheaval, change, and revolution. Gemini is the messenger, it's words, okay? Um, so the planet of revolution is changing sign. It's been in Taurus. I'm a Taurus rising. I have totally revolutionized my life the past 7 years. Like, it's insane. I am not anywhere near the same person at all. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of me. And you've had a part of your life that has gone through major change. And Uranus and Taurus has been shocking change with Mother Earth, with the financial systems, with yeah, the food system, all the supply chain issue, everything during COVID, like Uranus and Taurus. Now we have Uranus entering Gemini. Every time Uranus has been in Gemini, there has been a major war. There has been the US Revolution, the American Revolution, the Haitian Revolution, the French Revolution. Why? Because the planet of shock and revolution is entering the same. It's, the US went through the Pluto return, which was the first one, which is like the death of the systems, right? And we're seeing it crash before our very eyes. Now we're having the Uranus return. It's like, okay, the return of the revolution that started this whole thing in the first place. Why did America start? They wanted freedom. Uranus rules liberation. And how did they get free? They fought for it. There was a war. So no matter what way you slice it, there's going to be major revolution coming. I can't say, the thing about astrology is I can't say, this is exactly how it's going to express in this way. However, I can tell you what the energies are. I can tell you what it's been in the historical context, and I can tell you the overall energy. And a lot of it is usually expressed very, very literally. So this is not just affecting the US, it's affecting the whole world. The planet of shock, upheaval, change, and revolution in the sign of the twins, the Jekyll and Hyde. That's when we get people on the news saying one thing and then literally it's not real. It's like, what's real? I don't know what's real. This is going to be, I feel it's going to be more of a war. I think there's going to be actual continued war, like physical war, but more war with information and with media and with people's minds and with AI and with, yeah, it's going to be crazy year. So this is the overall major shifts of 2025. I don't want to leave you with like feeling like a cliffhanger, but it is a bit of a cliffhanger year. It is a very intense year. And if you resonate with me and my work, you incarnated here for a reason. Like, it's no secret that we're living in intense times, that we're living in revolutionary times. And it's my deepest intention and deliberate strategic intention that This podcast opens your eyes to what is coming ahead so you can be aware, so you can be prepared, so you can love yourself through all of it. And when things happen, you're like, it's written in the astrology. Okay, what's my part? Now, this is all what's happening in the collective. It's impacting you specifically in your chart in a very specific way that impacts your leadership. So it's important for you to know how it's impacting you and the world. Because as someone who's creating new earth, you've got to be tapped into the frequencies of the collective so you can be aware. And then this is literally divine timing. I'm teaching you what the divine timing is. People are like, I'm waiting for divine timing. Meh, 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 meh. I'm like, do you know how rude that is to spirit? Spirit's over here like, yo, I'm showing you divine timing right here, and you're pretending like it's like this elusive creature that you can blame and use an excuse for not going for things. This is the divine timing. So it's going to be a year of radical, radical, intense change. And not just like micro change, macro change, era defining astrology. So I'm really excited about this year. I'm really excited to keep serving in this space. Of course, the podcast is going to keep going. If you desire to go deeper into this work, the first thing I think you should do is get the 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide. So, this is where I'm going to be channeling all of my astrology insights for the whole year. Okay. It's audio only. You are not going to need to look at a screen to receive these transmissions. I'm going to be doing a monthly reading every single month, and then I'm going to be channeling on key topics for what's going on in the world. So one thing I know I'm gonna be channeling on is the astrology of Donald Trump's presidency and inauguration. Because understanding that stuff is really, really important. And if I were to share that in places like social media, I would get unplugged. I would get turned off. And honestly, they are going to unplug me at some point just because I am relentless and I will not be quiet and I will not give up for New Earth. And that's going to be part of the Uranus and Gemini. They are going to try and silence people who are strategically advancing the light. So I'm really excited. This is my oracle. So if you're someone who you're like, yeah, I'm here for New Earth. I want to learn about New Earth. I want to learn about the astrology the whole year. Um, get the guide. Get the guide. I'm going to be dropping audios. Like, so for example, for January, it's going to be coming out in the middle of the month. Who cares? Um, there's going to be the monthly reading, which will be kind of like a review, and then there's going to be stuff about the US politics. I'm going to channel about the Mars retrograde that's happening and anything else coming through my channel. Like I really feel like I might do like week ahead stuff if I feel like it. I'm just going to let my channel decide what I pour into that space, but at the bare minimum, you will receive a monthly reading in advance for what to expect for each month, and you will receive like at least a few other transmissions every single month. And when you join by the 20th, so Monday, January 20th, you will receive one of my breathwork master classes as a welcome gift. So you'll be able to choose any of those. So go to the link in the show notes if you are interested in this. Get the 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide. This is where I'm going to be sharing all of my astrology insights for the whole year. Okay. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. It's going to be such an amazing resource um, where we can actually learn together. And you will also get special access to all of my other work. So I'm really, really excited about. There's no live calls in the astrology guide. It's literally just a resource where I channel audios like this, except way more in depth and exclusive. So that's the first thing. The other thing, if you are wanting to master your habits in 2025, if you want to make it your healthiest year ever, especially as the South Node enters Virgo, if you're a mystic that you're like, I struggle with discipline. I struggle with consistency. You are going to master your health, your wealth, and your daily habits in the holy habit hive mind. This is like a mastermind, but cooler and better and more magical and shit that you actually need to do. And what we are doing is we are traversing the moment where you have historically chose short-term instant gratification, and instead you're going to choose long-term nourishment and alignment with source through your health, through your money, through the daily needle movers to advance your dream. So if this is you, the link to apply is in the show notes, okay? You will automatically receive the 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide when you join Holy Habits Hive Mind, okay? So those are the two invitations for today. Join, seriously, no matter who you are, if you loved this podcast, honestly, you'd be crazy not to get the 2025 New Earth Astrology Guide. Like, it's super accessible investment. Like, this is going to be an opus of star medicine to help you traverse what's coming in 2025. Like, I will be there with you the whole time, every single step of the way. And if you want to go deeper, and all of this health habits, you are ready to take command. One of the biggest habits we're going to be breaking in the hive mind, by the way, is social media addiction and phone addiction. I've been living a digital detox lifestyle for 5 years. I know how to do it. I'm the one that can teach you to break all of that stuff, and we do it with breath work. It's amazing. So go apply for that. The link is in the show notes. I love you. I believe in you. Thank you to astrology for guiding us. Thank you to the stars. Oh, go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you. Go make a stranger smile because it charges the whole field, and you literally have no idea what people are going through. You have no idea how much your energy can change someone's day, their life, their outlook. I love you so much. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.